Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Not too much movement here today in the market. I think we still have the possibility of rallying higher here in a wave 2 or in a wave C of 2. Yeah, that just has to do with the situation that the wave C here is not long enough yet. For me, the pressure is still on the downside, and if we zoom out, I just still have my difficulties to see this here as a wave, as the low of the bear market. Yeah, there's some people out there who say the low is already in for Bitcoin. I don't believe that. There was a chance. There is still a chance, okay, but it was not too unlikely on this way up. Yeah, but then we just retraced too much, and so there is still a chance, but it's not very likely anymore, especially looking at the structure, the choppy structure here. And also I would have to count this here as a wave 3. So it gives me the possibility of counting a wave 5 here. But if the wave 5, which has not come below the June low yet, if that would be the low, it would have to be a so-called truncated low where the wave 5 actually ends above the wave 3, because the June low was at around 17.6k. And here in September, I think it was, we only came down to around about 18.1, 18.2k. So you would call it a truncated low. You can only really justify it if the price action afterwards is really bullish, and we haven't seen that yet. And also, the other problem with such a choppy market always is that you really need to, you need to really request a lot of high standards for Bitcoin to prove that it's in a breakout. Yeah, because if you have such a messy, let's say a messy chart as we have here, and not all cryptos are doing such a messy chart, but Bitcoin does. And the problem with such a messy chart is you need to wait really for higher levels until you can really confirm that bottom is in, just because this is not an ideal pattern. And you can make your guesses and everything before that, but eventually you want to be sort of on the safe side before you put out to people that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. And at the moment I can't see it. I still have my difficulties. For me, the trend is still down, and because it is unlikely that the low is in, my view is still that we will make one more lower low. However, short term there is a long setup here. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. We hit support here off the channel. I see this as an let me just draw that. So from this 1-2 setup here, I see this as another possible 1-2 setup, and in this second 1-2 setup I think we've done a wave A, B, and we're now in the C wave. I can give you a target for the C wave, which I think we talked about in the previous video. What you do, you take the length of the wave A, you add it to the low of the wave B, and you get to the 1.618 extension at 19,350. That would be an ideal target for a wave C in this sort of scenario. Yeah, and with that you would probably reach here the resistance level of the channel and bounce off. Should we break above the resistance level of the channel, then we might have to choose another pattern, which is also very much possible. It would just mean that this wave 2 here, that we have to do with a sort of extended wave 2. So in this scenario, when we look at the extended wave 2, this would be the A, this would also be the B, just an extended one, and the wave C, but it could go higher. Yeah, and even if we then break here the beginning of the wave 1, which is this level here at 19,990, then my view would be that this wave 4 actually has never finished. So for me at the moment, just due to the higher level structure for Bitcoin, it is still very, very unlikely that a low has been in. Therefore at the moment I'm treating all let's say bullish moves to the upside as corrective. Short term there is a bullish setup, or let's call it a move to the upside, absolutely possible, but for me the trend is still down. And if we look at the higher level time frame here for Bitcoin, or zoom out a little bit, then we can see here what wave 4 I'm talking about. So we made our wave 1 down, wave 2 up, wave 3 down, wave 4 up, and the wave 5 down, and it could just be that this wave 4 high needs to be moved over here if we move up a little bit higher. So I would say in a not too unlikely case, Bitcoin could even rally to round about 21.7k if this is sort of the, let's say, the most bullish of the let's say it's bearish setups, because you can count it in a way that you say that we have here a 1-2 setup, yeah, but this would also be embedded in a larger bearish setup. And if we say we have a 1-2 setup here, so not a wave B up, but a wave 1 up and a wave 2 down like Ethereum, then we could really reach the 21.7K level up here. But even that, that would not be a bullish breakout pattern for me. That would just sort of be also part of a corrective C wave to the upside. So for me at the moment, there is no clear setup here. Yeah, there just isn't at the moment. Also on Saturday, normally it's rather quiet. We see that today. But I think here with Bitcoin, we just need to be prepared for the different possibilities. Primarily, I would expect short-term upside before we come down lower. Yeah, it's also why a lot of people ask me, I do expect still one more low for Bitcoin, but not for Ethereum. How can that work? Well, if Bitcoin goes a bit higher, Ethereum could certainly kick off, absolutely. And then when Bitcoin makes that lower low, Ethereum could just make a higher low. That is so easy to explain, and it happens all the time. While there are correlations, the wave degrees are different. Okay. But yeah, this is sort of what we're looking for. At the moment, we are still in the range anyway. We're still in this descending channel. And also we are below this yellow line, which is the 50-day moving average. So as you can see, there is at the moment no immediate price action that is super interesting here at the moment. I think we are coiling up here possibly for a move to the upside. But bear in mind, the trend is still down. And if we are still in a downtrend, those movements to the upside, first of all, they don't need to happen. And they might not happen that to such a strong degree. Now, if we look here on what I want to do on the daily chart, looking at the EMA ribbon, the exponential moving averages, you can see we are below all of them. That is also pushing us further down. On the daily, we've been below the EMA ribbon now for a long time, for a really long time, basically since April. I think a break above them would be something that you could consider potentially bullish, but let's see. There's a long way to go through, and so far we've always been rejected here. The highest one of the EMAs is at around 19.9K. So that's my update at the moment about Bitcoin. Not too much price action going on here. Still hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.